Breaking news from the United States. A shocking development has emerged from Washington. The Trump administration has officially revoked more than 80,000 non-immigrant visas in a sweeping and controversial move that's sending ripples across the global immigration landscape. From students to skilled professionals, thousands have suddenly found their legal status in jeopardy. And tonight we're breaking down what this means, who's affected, and why it's sparking such intense debate. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with everyone who follows United States immigration news, because what's happening right now could change how visas are handled for years to come. Since taking office, President Donald Trump's administration has launched one of the broadest immigration crackdowns in modern United States history. According to senior officials at the State Department, roughly 80,000 non-immigrant visas have been revoked since January 20th, covering offenses that range from driving under the influence to assault, theft, and even alleged security concerns. This staggering number paints a clear picture. Washington is sending a firm message that any form of misconduct, even while legally in the United States, could lead to immediate visa cancellation and deportation. A senior State Department official speaking on condition of anonymity confirmed that the revocation spanned a variety of visa categories. These include work visas, student visas, and visitor visas. Essentially, anyone holding temporary permission to remain in the United States. The official revealed that approximately 16,000 of those revocations were tied to driving under the influence cases, 12,000 were related to assault, and another 8,000 stemmed from theft. Combined, those three categories alone make up nearly half of all the visa cancellations so far this year. Officials say the administration's approach isn't just about punishment, it's about deterrence. The message is simple and unmistakable. Anyone entering or staying in the United States on a temporary visa must uphold the law and comply with federal and state regulations, or risk losing their status instantly. But critics say this campaign has gone far beyond traditional enforcement. Reports indicate that the administration has expanded its use of social media vetting, introduced new layers of background checks, and even instructed diplomats abroad to adopt a stricter stance on visa issuance. Under these new measures, even minor offenses or controversial online posts could trigger visa denial or cancellation. In August, the State Department confirmed that it had revoked more than 6,000 student visas for overstaying, violating legal conditions, or breaking U.S. laws. In some of those cases, officials cited alleged support for terrorism, though they did not provide public evidence linking the students to any active networks. This revelation has fueled growing concern among civil rights groups and academic institutions, which warned that broad interpretations of security threats could unfairly target innocent students and professionals. Last month, the department took an even more controversial step by revoking the visas of at least 6 individuals over comments they made on social media about the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Officials described these online posts as concerning and inconsistent with U.S. values, suggesting that Washington is now monitoring digital activity more closely than ever before. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio addressed the matter in May, saying he has personally approved the revocation of hundreds, maybe even thousands of visas, including student and work permits for individuals engaged in what he called activities contrary to U.S. foreign policy priorities. According to Rubio, the United States just can't afford to offer legal residency or study opportunities to those whose words or actions, in his view, undermine American interests abroad. Directives circulated this year by the State Department have reportedly instructed U.S. embassies and consulates worldwide to be extremely vigilant when evaluating visa applicants who may hold political views considered hostile to Washington. That includes individuals involved in activism critical of the U.S. government or its allies. This means that visa officers now have more discretion than ever to deny or revoke entry to individuals they believe pose a political or ideological threat. Several observers say this is part of a larger strategy by the Trump administration to link immigration enforcement with foreign policy. Under these new interpretations, student visa holders, work permit recipients, and even green card applicants could face penalties or deportation if they are seen as expressing support for groups or causes that conflict with American policy positions, particularly regarding the ongoing war in Gaza. Administration officials have openly stated that individuals showing support for Palestinians or voicing criticism of Israel's military operations could face visa reviews, denials, or even expulsion. They've labeled such expressions as pro-Hamas, arguing they threaten United States national security interests and foreign policy stability. This stance has raised alarm among human rights advocates who argue that freedom of expression is being conflated with extremism, especially when applied to non-citizens. Behind the numbers there are, countless personal stories unfolding, students forced to leave mid-semester, professionals losing their livelihoods overnight, and families suddenly separated without warning. Immigration lawyers across the country say they've seen a sharp uptick in cases involving visa cancellations without due process, leaving foreign nationals little room to appeal. The lack of transparency in these decisions has added to the growing unease. What's equally concerning is the broad definition of offense under this policy. In many cases, minor infractions such as low-level misdemeanors or simple administrative violations have led to visa revocation. For foreign nationals who have built their lives and careers in the United States, a single mistake can now mean permanent exclusion. Critics argue that while upholding the law is important, these sweeping measures risk punishing individuals disproportionately and eroding the United States' image as a nation that values fairness and due process. Supporters, on the other hand, insist the policy is restoring accountability and ensuring that only law-abiding visitors remain on U.S. soil. The scale of the crackdown reflects how immigration has become a defining issue of the Trump presidency. From the southern border wall to travel bans and enhanced vetting procedures, the administration has, systematically reshaped the framework of U.S. immigration, emphasizing security, control, and ideology over openness and inclusion. This latest wave of visa revocations is part of that same pattern. It signals to both U.S. citizens and the international community that the government intends to prioritize national security above all else, even if it means, severing long-standing educational and cultural ties. Across Washington, reactions are sharply divided. Some lawmakers have praised the policy as a necessary step towards safeguarding American interests and preventing potential security threats. Others, however, have warned that these measures could isolate the United States from the very global talent pool that honestly drives innovation, science, and education. Universities in particular are voicing concern. Many institutions rely heavily on international students who contribute billions of dollars annually to the United States economy and play key roles in research and technology development. With student visas now under tighter scrutiny, some educators fear the long-term impact could be devastating for both higher education and the broader economy. Immigration analysts say that even after the Trump administration, these policies may continue to influence United States immigration strategy for years to come. Once procedural tools like enhanced social media vetting or rapid visa cancellation are in place, future administrations may be, reluctant to scale them back. For now, the State Department insists it is acting within its legal authority, emphasizing that visa holders are guests of the United States, not entitled residents. Officials maintain that revocation decisions are based on solid evidence and conducted under strict internal guidelines. Still, questions remain about consistency and oversight. With 80,000 revocations in less than a year, the magnitude of this policy is, honestly, unprecedented, and its long-term effects on America's global image, workforce, and moral standing are yet to be seen. As the debate continues, one thing is clear. The landscape of United States immigration is changing fast. What once seemed like a secure path to study or work in the United States can now be undone with a single decision from Washington. This is U.S. State, where we bring you the stories shaping America's future and the policies that affect millions around the world. If you found this report informative, Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it so others can stay informed. Your support helps us keep bringing you real news with real